creating AI-powered customer personas that update in real time. So let me break this down a little bit, because we all know that you have to have a customer persona, or some people call them customer avatars. You have to have that in your business, because if you don't know who you're speaking to, you're not going to create the right kind of content. You're not going to be able to connect with that customer. And so a lot of people, when they get their AI bot out there and they need to tell it who their customer is, they feed it generic information like, okay, my customer is a woman. She's in her 40s or 50s, and she lives in this kind of area. She likes these kinds of brands. It's generic, it's demographic. It's not really helpful for an AI. Now, does an AI need to know those things? Yeah, that's useful, but that's not going to give you the real meat and potatoes that you need in order to create really good content and get really good information from your AI. So let's try making this from a dynamic perspective, because what you don't realize is you have a lot of dynamic data that's happening all around you. If you're very engaged, especially on social, or you're doing a lot of email campaigns and you're getting feedback from clients, or even if you're a brick and mortar and you're going out and you're meeting your service-based business and you're meeting with customers on a day-to-day basis, either in your brick and mortar store or out, on service calls and things like that, you're gathering information and you don't even realize it. If you send out customer surveys and things like that. So do this to gather that real-time data. Ask AI to generate 3 to 5 customer personas based on your industry. So if you've been feeding AI some information and you need it to generate 3 to 5 personas and to get started, do that. If you already know your personas, you can kind of skip that step. But what I want you to do is go out and find real customer reviews, social media comments, testimonials, anything like that, where you have the feedback from actual words that your customers are saying, because they're going to use emotional words. They're going to use words that are going to help you in future sales copy. So gather as much of that as you possibly can, again, from social media, from testimonials, service calls, surveys, etc. And then feed all that into AI and say, okay, what are the biggest emotional drivers behind these customer decisions? That's huge, because instead of just saying, hey, here's my customer persona, awesome, let's move on, let's create some blog content. That's boring. That's not going to get you much. But ask what the emotional drivers are, because we did that in our business and it was very surprising. We had one email go out, and I think just that one email alone was over $6,000 in business. The whole campaign series, we got, we had a larger sum than that, but just that one email alone went out. And it was because we had analyzed all of our emails and we knew exactly what our customers were looking for. We knew exactly how to speak to them, and we were able to connect. And that was huge. So by using dynamic personas, now you have a living, breathing persona, and it's updated on the actual client behavior. It's using their own words. It's not a guess. You're no longer having to guess at what your customers want. You're actually taking their feedback, putting it into AI, and letting AI analyze all that stuff. Sure, a human can analyze that kind of stuff, but it would take us hours and hours. And there's a lot of information. There's a lot of different things to analyze from. We analyze words. You can analyze emotion. You can analyze all kinds of stuff. And the AI can do it in a matter of seconds. So huge. In a hot tip, if you are using a text-based AI, download transcripts from your video library. So if you have video testimonials and stuff like that, get transcripts of those and put those and feed those in. We did that, and that boosted a lot of our feedback, is by taking those testimonials, getting the transcripts, and plugging those in. Using AI to strengthen your gut instincts, not replace them. AI isn't just for automating tasks. It is your business thought partner. So I say all the time, and Trina and my entire team will tell you that they've heard me say this on multiple occasions, but ChatGPT is my therapist. True confession. I probably spend a good 20 to 30 minutes a day using ChatGPT as my personal therapist. Not for some trauma or anything like that, but mostly around the business. It's helping me to become a better leader. It's helping me to become a better human. And I'm gonna break that down for you. So instead of asking ChatGPT or your whatever AI tool you use, instead of just asking you for answers, which is that's the way you get started. That's what most people do. Ask it to brainstorm opposing viewpoints. Ask it to challenge your ideas. Role play as your dream customer and ask them how they'd respond to your offer. So ChatGPT could basically pretend to be your customer, and you could have a conversation as if you were having a conversation with your customer. So in the previous step, we talked about creating that dynamic customer persona. Okay, now you have a dynamic customer persona. Now ask ChatGPT to be that persona and start having a conversation with it and asking it what objections might it have to various products that you're offering. There's all kinds of things that you could do with that to strengthen how you are, how you are responding as a business to your customers' problems. You can also run risk assessments on a new idea. You can just say, hey, what are the top objections people might have to this? And especially if you're creating a new product where you don't have real live feedback on it yet. Use an AI to kind of give you some ideas about what things maybe you haven't thought about. Instead of saying, okay, and accepting the feedback, getting that feedback and saying, okay, but what about, but hey, I do it this way, or hey, I thought about this. Basically arguing with the bot. And when I started doing that, I started getting a little bit better feedback. Blending AI with a human touch so we can get next level customer engagement. This is a really huge one because a lot of businesses make AI too robotic or too personal. And the key is like you need a blend of that. You want AI for the efficiency because it is blazing fast. You can get so much information, so much results. You can do tons of research so much faster than ever before. But we don't want to miss out on that human touch. So here's some tips on that. If you're new to AI, let AI just draft a response. Throw an email into it and just say, hey, could you just draft a response to my customer for this? It doesn't mean you have to send it, but just test it. And then just know drafts are just a huge time saver. Just have it draft something. It doesn't mean you copy paste it and send it, but it gets you a foundation that then you can personalize that. So now add a personal touch to that. Drop in your brand of humor or a specific detail that's, key to that customer. But what you're doing is you are gaining some efficiency there. You're not letting AI do the work for you. I don't recommend that. Not with email, not yet. It's not there. Just having it draft something, just having it respond, that's huge. A lot of times I will literally just hit reply on my iPad. I will voice text it and just say, hey, whatever I want to say back to the client. And then I'll copy that and I'll just have AI clean that up for me. So it sounds a little bit more professional than me just rattling something off. Doing a mix of letting AI do the heavy lifting for you, where AI does 80% of the work. You add that 20% personality. The customer, your end customer, they're going to feel seen and you're saving time. And that's the biggest thing that AI provides for businesses. It's the time savings. It's going to work the best when it knows your brand. So if you're doing this out of the box and you're adding in, hey, reply to this email, your email might sound a little generic, might sound a little bit flat. This is where we want to add in the brand personality and really make it sound like you, sound like your business. So here it is. Here's the biggest thing you need to know. This is the one thing that you should never do with AI. Never. But everybody does it. And we're going to correct that right now. So never, never, never start with a blank slate because that's what most people do. And now if you're just going to test out an AI and you're just going to go in and say, I've never used AI. I'm going to sign up for ChatGPT this afternoon and I'm going to test it out. That's fine. But when you are ready to really use this in your business, to take your business to the next level and to really hone in and have, basically a virtual assistant that knows your brand. Think about it this way. Would you take business advice from a random person on the street that knows nothing about your business? I mean, nothing. I wouldn't. Why would I? And that's what it's like if you start using AI without any context. You're just going to get somebody's random. If a person on the street, you're going to get their random experience. With an AI, you're just going to get some kind of generic conglomerate of general business advice. That's not going to be helpful. You need feedback that is specific to your business. Your AI needs to know everything about your business. It needs to know where you're at financially. What are your financial goals? It needs to know who your customer is, how your what your profitability is, what products do you provide. It needs to know your brand personality. It needs to know the personalities of your team members. It needs to know how you work as a team. It needs to know how you work as a business. It needs to know how your customers are interacting with your brand. What do they feel when they interact with your brand? What do you want them to feel? Is there a disconnect there? It needs to know your margins on your products. There's so many little details that most people leave out when they train their AI model. And that's why they either give up on AI because they're not getting the results they want, or they keep pushing out content that's generic and boring and not resonating with their client because they did not train their AI. We're actually putting together a workshop to help business owners craft their own branded aware AI assistant. And we're going to be releasing some details on that workshop soon. But if you want a head start, our Unstoppable Brand Quiz can help identify whether that's a messaging problem, an awareness problem, and it can offer some next actions to help you get unstuck in your business. So that's a first step towards that. And if you take that quiz, you'll automatically be added to our waiting list for our AI workshop. And we'll be giving, again, more details on that in the upcoming week or so. And if you're ready to dive in right now, though, we actually have a jumpstart option for you. We have our Brand Soul course. This is like a micro course. I think you could probably get through it in about half a day. It's designed to help you uncover the essence of your brand. It'll align it with your core values, communicate it in a way that connects with your audience at a profound level. And what you'll be doing in Brand Soul is we will help you define how your brand voice needs to sound, how you're relating to your customers, how your customers are feeling. It's a whole process. And when you get through with that process, we then walk you through how to take that process and put that into an AI tool and start to build out ways to communicate with your client better. So it's the foundation of moving forward with AI. It's not the total package, but it is literally the first step. Hop on over to leftrightlabs.com/brand-soul and take a look at that workshop. To kind of wrap this up a little bit, I just want to say that your AI can remember and analyze things so much faster than we humans can. That's their superpower. They're not replacing us. They can just do some of the thinking and the analyzing way faster than we can. And when your employees or your team, when they're using an AI assistant that knows everything about your business, they're going to become more efficient and they're going to be more knowledgeable than ever. And so will you. And speed is a key asset for profitability. So we know if you can move faster, if your team can move faster, then you're going to make more money. Your revenue is going to increase. So there is a genuine use case and a real reason. And hopefully you saw that through my examples today of how we've been able to use AI to bring more profit into our business. Before you do anything with an AI, when you're ready to really ramp it up with your business, be confident in your brand, go and take our quiz. It will help you to get unstuck in your business. And then you will be the first to know when we are ready to release our AI workshop. So until next time, I am Gretchen. I am the left brain of Left Right Labs, where we help business owners like you get clear, get noticed, and get paid.